We're now joined by Bryan Felt, who's Director of Athletics and Recreational Services at Seton Hall University Athletics. Good to see you, Bryan.
Good to see you, Steve.
I have to disclose, as Bryan knows, I am a hardcore, along with thousands and thousands of others, a Seton Hall University basketball fan, also taught at the university for years, and then one of our higher ed partners. Let me ask you this, Bryan, right out of the box.
Yeah.
An exciting time in college athletics, but also a very uncertain time as we do this program with decisions being made by the NCAA, out-of-court settlements, NIL,
Right.
with a transfer portal. Is it chaotic, exciting, what?
It's a mixed bag. I think the problem is we've got more questions than we have answers, right? And you always, you start somewhere. That's where we are right now. There's a lot to be determined. Certainly, we've seen a lot of the news in the last, week. We were together actually as Big East athletic directors at our annual retreat meetings in Florida when all of this was unfolding with the House NCAA case. So there's a lot to be unpacked here. There's a lot to still come, I think, in the next 6 months as this case, as this, this settlement kind of folds and comes unfolded. So yeah, it's exciting in a sense because we know there's change. I personally one that I invite change. I love change. I think we all, it's that brings excitement, but that brings also concern, and it brings questions. How's this going to get done? How's this going to look? How are we going to do this? So there's a lot of that. So it's a mixed bag.
From a coaching perspective, you have some great coaches at Seton Hall. And it's not just because I'm a fan, that they're great coaches in college sports. But to what degree, from your perspective, Bryan, has college coaching / leadership changed if a player can only be there for a year and then leave, or you don't have enough money in this name, image, and likeness fund, right? You and I've talked about that as well. How much has it changed, actually, the art of leading and coaching in college sports?
Oh, I think in some aspects, in some specific sports, it's drastic. Take your football and your basketball, which tend to be the two most high-profile collegiate sports, just primarily because they're popular and because they generate revenue. Absolutely, you're right. So I think in that case, those sports, being a coach at that level, it's a much different ball. You've seen it, right? We've seen the great coaches across the landscape of college basketball and football in the last several years pick up and leave. It's just a different game in a sense now. But that being said, there's a lot of great young coaches, as you pointed out. We have several of them. One of them specifically in men's basketball, who hey, he's going to adapt.
Some of these so-called old school coaches, or coaches that are old school style, discipline, in your face, telling you some really hard truths. The argument that some have is that with today's athletes, and I only use air quotes because I can't believe how people generalize, well, they're all the same. No, they're not. Question: do you believe that coaching / leading with younger athletes today, young college athletes, is different because kids are different? 18, 19, 20-year-olds are different. Social media has made it different. Our culture has made it different. So you can't be that hard school coach, old school coach. You've got to manage them, those players, differently, or they're going to leave.
Yeah, I think a lot's generational. I think certainly times have changed. Young people have changed, but so have I think it's all relative. I do believe that yes, to your point, yes, there is changes in the generational kind of aspect of the whole thing that you have to adapt to. But I've seen coaches just have to. I think the big word I use with our coaches, you just have to have balance, and that's the key thing. You have to have balance. Yeah, you could be tough and you could really get the work. Your work ethic could be one that you're just driving. That's a lot of our student athletes want that. They want to be challenged. They want to work hard. If you're going to be an athlete at this level, you've got to put in the work. So you've got to be, you've got to be pushed a little bit. But at the same time, there's balance, because I think this is a kinder generation, and especially with everything that they've seen in terms of DE&I and mental health. Sure. You have to be able to balance it, understanding that aspect too. And I think if you have that balance, you can still be the kind of coach you want to be. You just have to bring other aspects into it.
Yeah, before I let you go, you mentioned the mental health piece.
Yeah. We're
taping this conversation after the tragedy of a very talented 30-year-old player on the PGA Tour committing suicide, literally days after one of the top players and the ladies' professional golf tour. As we're doing this program, very young, very talented, said the pressure has been too much for her, talked about her mental health. Question: to what degree do you believe that the stigma around mental health has changed significantly, Bryan, to the point where most talented, effective, successful college athletes, young athletes can acknowledge, I'm struggling, without being seen as weak?
Yeah, I think 100%. It's so critically important to what we do here at Seton Hall every day with our athletes. We provide them the mental health, training and the necessary tools they need to be able to cope with the things that they have they're challenged to deal with. And student athletes deal with a lot. I mean, their schedules are not like a normal student in college. Between practice and classes and travel and competitions, there's a lot to balance. And you're seeing it with these professional athletes. It's still a lot. And I think we talk about it more, and I think that's the good thing. I think it's healthy to talk about it more. I think it's healthy to acknowledge it and to be able to let people know that we're there to help. So, yeah, I think it's 100% very, very real and very, very critical to our success as an athletic department.
Tough stuff, well beyond the X's and O's of sports. This you've been listening to and watching Bryan Felt, Director of Athletics and Recreational Services, Seton Hall Athletics at Seton Hall University. I'm Steve Adubato. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 30 years in public broadcasting. Funding has been provided by NJM Insurance Group, RWJ Barnabas Health, Let's Be Healthy Together, New Jersey Sharing Network, the Turrell Fund, a foundation serving children, the Russell Berry Foundation, IBEW Local 102, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, and by the Fidelco Group. Promotional support provided by NorthJersey.com and Local IQ, and by New Jersey Globe.
If you register as an organ donor, you have the potential of saving up to 8 lives.
And my neighbor passed away. His eyes were actually donated, and that person now can see.
Not only can you save a life, but if something should happen to me and I'm no longer here, I know that in some small part, I'll live on in someone else.
Say yes, save lives. Say yes, save lives.
Say
yes, save lives.
Be an organ and tissue donor.